Oh,
Damn.
okay. So I only do this much psychic damage. It's still only 6 though.
He has like 80 health or something.
You take 6 psychic damage. I'm gonna change the music.
You see Corey suddenly sort of clutch his head and go like, "Oh, ah!"
Allow me to tell you what you'll be seeing. Let's see, either this or the Velvet Room. You know what? Fuck it. Why not? We'll say the Velvet Room theme for something else, but this is pretty funny. Nice.
This is unsettling.
Well, first off, congratulations on a successful charisma save. That's 18, I think. Pretty good. Something in the upper quadrant. You experience, to put it, tell it straight from the way I describe it in my notes, violent cognitive dissonance.
Ooh.
As indicated by the 6 psychic damage you just took right now, you begin getting flickering flashbacks of your discussion with your shade when they were your shade near the fountain. Your vision of this Traverse Town quote-unquote reality flickers like a staticky TV, except no static on this end. It's more of just sort of phase back into the memories of that time. They feel real. It's as if you're there, just reliving it again, watching from your own perspective, and you know it's you, and you know who the shade is. With a 23, this flashback is perfectly vivid. You're underwater. You're with a group of people. 7 of you in total, plus this talking skull. You remember the contents of your conversation with your shade. And it surges in your head just like a mind spike, not the spell mind spike, but a different sort of mind spike as these memories flash into your mind and sear themselves in. But fast as they arrive, they leave. As I change the music again. And here we are. To everyone present, to you enkindlers, you see this violent reaction. This cringing of, well, literal physical cringing of pain. Let's go back to this music. I like this music back. It's up to you guys how you react. Out of concern, suspicion, etc., etc. I think Eleni, being Team Mom, would stand up immediately and go over, but it's up to you guys. So, how do you guys react to suspect compromised?
Probably come forward, but have my hand on my blade just in case something happens.
So suspicion.
High suspicion.
Bohan would stand up and just sort of ready himself for any sort of conflict.
But I don't know. Fritz would want to see if there's any need for like lesser restoration or curing of some degree. Because it's hard to pin down like psychic damage of just like, are they hurt?
You notice that his nose is bleeding.
Yeah, that's not good.
Hey, this is not bleeding out of the mouth. That's what you know is really bad.
Yeah, that one's weird.
Eleni goes over to and immediately asks, like, "What happened? Are you okay?" You hear it through Lorelei's voice.
Lorelei?
Oh god! Like Fancy's like grab your arm. He gets a handkerchief. He's like dabbing your nose.
No. You're dead. You're dead. You're not supposed to be here. You're dead.
What?
The limp. I saw it.
What? Lad, he shakes
No.
you. Stay with us here, okay? Stay with us. I'm not dead.
Get off me. I don't. You're not him.
Lad. You know. He like has like your like a handkerchief in his hand which has your blood on it and stuff. He looks at Eleni. Eleni's like pulling you away from him and getting Fritz over to you. Fritz, in your travels. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Catherine. I have to ask. Fritz, in your travel, did you have a medical knowledge?
Not terribly, but I do have a spell for this.
Then please. And she gestures to him.
Yeah, he'll cast Cure Wounds.
D8 plus. Is it plus mod? It is plus mod.
Yeah, so that's +4. Sure, that should be enough.
I mean, one, that's like 5/6 of it. Yeah.
I healed double the amount he was hurt.
Double the amount.
I bring him back to life. Let's go.
I'll open my stuff. Gain 6 temp HP. Correct. 6+6. Mr. Korik, stay with us here.
Fritz is gonna back up a little bit to give him some room to breathe.
She like is like looking you like straight on, like holding your shoulders. Korik?
Do I still hear Lorelai's voice?
No.
Okay.
Stay with us. It's clear something just triggered in your mind. Can you tell us what just happened?
I will stand up and I will slowly back away from Fancy.
She keeps you down. Like you try to stand up and she just sits you back down. Stay put and stay calm. Mr. Teff, can you please give us some room? Fancy looks hurt. Like he genuinely looks like someone just kicked his puppy hurt.
Korik is crestfallen.
Sure. He takes a step away over to the side of the table. Mr. Korik? Snaps in your face. Do you remember something?
I motion for her to lean down so I can whisper.
She's like not crouch, but like squatting, like knees bent, so she's on your level. So she just leans forward. You guys can see and Kindlers. You guys know what's up with Eleni. She's very not hesitant, but cautious as she does so, like ready to deck him in the neck if he tries to do anything.
I will whisper to her in word-for-word detail as much as I can remember of the vision I just had.
Roll me stealth. This fancy. Not pretty average roll.
Just enough.
Just enough. Everyone else, if you want to know, roll percepzione.
Perception. Ba-ba-da-ba. 19.
Yeah, you're fine. Meanwhile, Benion's in the kitchen.
Damn.
Oh.
Alright, so you're more than fine. That's a Switchfoot song. Switchfoot, my favorite Christian band. I had a buddy of mine who didn't know that Switchfoot was a Christian band until I pointed it out to him, and he's like, "Oh my god,
It makes so much sense."
the musical themes." Does Bohan want to get in on this, or is he just?
No, he trusts the young people to pay attention to this sort of thing.
The youngins.
Keeping an eye on Fancy.
If only our politicians were like that. Anyway,
He
so
was kind of informed to do such.
So yeah, you tell Eleni to the best of your ability what this flashback just kicked into your head. And she, when you finish, she just leans away from you, stands up and looks from you over to Sigurd Fancy Teff. And he just looks like utterly concerned and confused himself. Again, he's hurt. He's hurt right here. You can't see me right now, but I tap over my left pectoral.
where your heart would be if you didn't rip it out in the sacrifice.
Yeah. I actually have multiple hearts stored up in there. About 15 or so. Anyways. So she just looks from him back to you. Mr. Teff. Yes. She looks to the rest of you guys, like as trying to ascertain whether or not you guys heard, as fellow Enkindlers, what Korik said to her. She obviously gets the obvious reaction from Bohan, but she looks at you, Fritz, and you, Catherine.
Just a light nod.
Yeah. Confirmation that I heard it.
No, allow me to parlay with my team. She gestures for y'all to come closer. While she walks over here, just away from the two quote-unquote witnesses. Should we send him away or keep him around? Just like eyes gesturing at Fancy. You heard what Mr. Korik said.
In this case, he could be a danger.
But he's also the thing that's pushed the most information out of the situation.
He doesn't look dead to me.
Yes, which is why I'm a little bit concerned. And maybe keep him around in case... I don't know.
It's either one of two possibilities. Either he actually is dead and we have a revenant in front of us, one that has been peaceful up until now.
And has no idea that he's a revenant.
Perhaps. Or is just lying at such. Or young Mr. Korik is more damaged than we might have originally interpreted. Or more manipulated from an external force than we originally anticipated.
Yes.
So what should we do? Weird vague in the corner. Kill them all! Kill them all!
A bit extreme.
It baffles me how he's able to hear so much while asleep.
Yeah, it's...
Normally when he's awake, he doesn't even care to respond to us.
That's more out of a choice, I believe.
That's besides the point. That's besides the point.
Well, personally, I think we should keep him here. Keep him under watch in case something does happen.
Both of them.
Both, yes. Look, if he is something else, I'd rather he does it here rather than out in the public.
Young Catherine does have a point.
Should we continue this interview?
Yes.
Nod from Bohan.
Fritz?
Mm.
You agree?
Mm-hmm.
Very well. Let's get back to it then. Mr. Fancy. Yes. I think you would find it understandable if we requested you to maintain distance from Korik. Fine. Eleni moves you to here, Korik, and then Fancy. Sigurd Teff is over there. And then everyone reassumes their positions, interview style.
Bohan is going to put himself between the two.
Noted.
I'm gonna just stand with my, very suspicious, like, ready for a fight in case it happens.
Might happen.
Might happen, you never know.
Wouldn't it be crazy? It's like, oh, he doesn't have a token. Oh, he doesn't have a stat line, and then I have his fucking sheet right here ready to kill you guys. That'd be wild.
Just
That'd be crazy.
The limp that Fancy had before. In
Your shade.
yeah. Can Korik look at Fancy's legs to see if he can discern any sort of indication of that?
Roll perception. It's already 3 o'clock. Man. I not gonna lie, I thought we'd be further ahead, but it's good that you guys are doing investigating. 25. No. You haven't seen Fancy walk too much up until now, especially once your quote unquote alarm has been raised. But from the way he moves around the table when you first came in, like the limp he had as your shade was just like very distinguishable, very noticeable. To the point where even if you weren't looking for it with your alarm raised, like you would notice it just because that's just how shockingly different and contrasting it is. He has no evidence of such whatsoever right now. He looks utterly fine. So, let us continue. Master Teff, can you resume your account? So you left the company. You came here to tutor a noble, Caleb Morel. Yes. And anything following? Honestly, no, Inkendler. It's been a couple of years. Caleb has been learning just fine. He and I have both been enjoying the town. Fine circles of people, finer commodities. Nothing particularly important has happened beyond gatherings, birthdays, anniversaries. Nothing significant. The thing Cork just said right now, that you shouldn't be here. You guys can see like a pained look go across Fancy's face. Do you have any reason to... Do you know why he said that? Shakes his head. Nothing. Kindler, nothing. Well, perhaps he's plagued by the same nightmares I've been getting as of late.
Nightmares?
Yes. For the past month or so now, I've been getting nightmares. Sometimes they're more akin to just normal dreams, but well, it's like a fairy tale. Just because it has a decent enough beginning, we all know how fairy tales tend to end. Sort of like that. Not all my rests are given nightmares, but they still have a sense of dread knowing where they're going to end.
A dark place underwater.
Aye.
A floating skull in the middle of nothing.
That
Talking.
might be his nightmares, not mine. Korik, do you have nightmares about anything similar to this? Then, Mr. Teff, can you please inform us what your nightmares are about? You seem to have a clear passage of them. Well, he blinks a couple of times. It's a blur in my mind, trying to recall it. You know, trying to remember dreams can be difficult at times. I wouldn't, but go on.
You
Elf,
must,
don't sleep.
you must remember the fountain. You must.
I do. I remember you. I remember a number of other people there too.
Why were I there? Why was I there? Help me remember. Oh, you say, "Oh, help me remember."
Sigurd's breathing heavy, gets more and more heavy. When he looks at the rest of you guys with a raised eyebrow, suspicion level increases by 3 this time. Both of you, stay calm. Take deep breaths.
Look, Fancy, your family,
He's like pinching the bridge of his nose.
I never had a father, but you and Kaladin was as closest to the virile thing I ever had. Please.
I'm trying, lad. Let me go through it. Let me go through the dreams. By all means. She looks at you, Ball, and like double checking that you're notating everything.
Yeah.
We saw you off. Remember that. Same. There was a lady. A lovely lady. But I was supposed to meet her one night. I went out alone. And then I was kidnapped. These accounts are going to be confirmed in your head, Korik, as they are told. Like, you don't know what they are as they're happening, but once they're said, you're like, yeah, that's true. I was kidnapped. And then kidnapped by the people that were hunting you, Korik. And then they tortured me. Then they were frustrated. Trying to get a gentleman to break his word. Bastards.
Impossible. Paladin.
They continued anyways, trying. Futile efforts. He swallows. You guys see his Adam's apple move. I lost a step. They gave up. And my nightmare ends. As I die.
I'm so sorry, old friend.
It's not your fault, lad. Don't you be sorry. Just remember everything we taught you. And stay true to yourself. That's all I ask. From beyond the grave.
I will.
Eleni Rez, like, looks at you guys.
Concerned. Immensely concerned.
Yeah.
So now the guy Immensely's fucking dead.
Master Tef, can you please enlighten us? What are you? I don't know. Those nightmares feel so real, but he's like pinching the bridge of his nose. You see now that his nose is bleeding too, and like he feels the blood on like the bottom of his hand as he's like pinching the bridge of his nose. He gets his handkerchief, begins dapping at it. Venian comes out from the kitchen. you can tell from the expression on his face that either he finished a good bit ago and is just listening this whole time, or he just straight up listens while he works, which isn't that surprising, knowing Venian. But he comes out wiping his hands with like a clean cloth. Sort of just cast it aside back on the table in the kitchen somewhere. Might I have a word with all of you?
Why, certainly.
Outside.
Yes.
I think the two of them will be fine alone in here.
Yes, they could probably use with a breather.
You guys head outside. Carter's drinking some of the Turkish coffee. Not that Turkey exists. Gimlers need something. It's fine, Carter. We're just deliberating. Fresh air and such. Gotcha. Tension this way. He gestures down the alley. I have a lead for who the hair belongs to, where she even works, everything.
Oh?
Aye. But I was listening. What is going on?
Something far above my understanding of things.
It's... Yeah, I don't know what to make of it. It's... something very odd is happening.
There seems to be some strange kind of understanding between the two, in spite of how ridiculous that sounds.
Something conspiratorial, perhaps.
Yet, how would they have arrived at such a conclusion so fast, so quickly, without...
Also, it doesn't seem malicious. They almost seemed confused at the situation themselves, in a weird way.
Indeed.
Well, that certainly ties the two of them together. It would be certainly a lot of things to add to my portfolio.
Definitely. The physical reaction they had, though, to the reaching this conclusion, though. What was that all about? The nosebleed.
A curse of some kind, perhaps.
Perhaps.
Maybe.
But in my listening, I caught a inconsistency.
Yes?
And then he begins, but I'll when he finishes, the amount of time he's been in town. Yes. Fritz pointed out to me as well. He claims to have been here for years. He has only been here a month. I have the surveillance records and everything to confirm such.
And in that time of month, he's had consistent nightmares of his own death.
Yeah, that is... yeah.
Is there a way to ascertain if someone is undead, Venian?
I have that ability.
Venian opens his mouth to respond. You say that, he just gestures. You're talking up the wrong tree, Eleni.
I am spent for the moment, but given some rest, I will be able to do this experiment.
How long?
I need a good 8 hours.
I mean, no offense to you, Bohan, but I think time is of the essence.
Yes, you are of course right.
So, Venian, do you have any more expedient solutions? Religious work is not my domain, I'm afraid. But there are ways to check you if he has other things. Not necessarily undead. Such as... I have a number of implements in my satchel, made of different materials. Things that might be able to detect if he's something beyond. I'm not following. If he's a devil or a fairy or something like that. But of undead, I have no means to detect the undead, I'm afraid. Not me personally. Do you think Rutabaga could determine it? You guys all open your mouths to be like as if Rutabaga is gonna do that. You guys open your mouths and like,
Nah.
The better
you guys
question
all
is,
think
would
about
you?
it. It's he has a spore druid, and spores take to the dead and stuff like that.
We just
So
go back
you're
inside. Fancy's just a freaking botany experiment.
Yeah, so it's I only say this because O does have this fucking spell prepared, so I feel like he knows something about undead.
Anime
Just
dead,
a
he's
little something.
I have an inkling.
I really hope like he didn't have like some fucking evil plan to summon a bunch of fucking undead later in
He
the
probably
game.
did. He's probably gonna see like, can I just animate the entire town and just fucking take control?
It takes
of
a minute. It takes a minute to cast this, man. This spell sucks.
Does spell magic have any effects?
No, not on like creature. Well, it had magical effects on him, yes, but like magically create undead. That's not how it works.
Yeah, he's not just gonna dissipate out of existence because he's a ghost.
Yeah, or it's like the magic holding him together is undone. He just unravels to like a bunch of bones or something. Yeah, it doesn't work like that, right? Let's try to stir Rutabaga then. I think he might be able to do something for this.
Well, I vote that it's not me that wakes him.
Very well.
I shall attempt it. I am the most armored after all.
You will need it. The last time I
You're
did this,
a
he
brave,
almost bit a
brave
finger
man,
off.
Bohan.
Ugh. Very well. Any last deliberations we want to talk about out here where they can't hear us? Didn't you say-
It seems strange that the young man was able to recall, or at least know in advance what the other one would say.
I don't think he knew what the other one was saying. I think he was putting his own juxtaposition on it.
I think it's a confirmation of accounts.
Hmm.
If two people both have a truth and both collaborate in telling it, does that not confirm the truthfulness of it? If they had no prior deliberations of their own?
Indeed, so it would seem.
If they had no prior deliberations of their own. If. I don't think they would have. We literally found two of them an hour, 2 hours ago. Venian holds up pointing hand. It is your goal, Enkindlers. I am but your support for the time being. Speaking of support, though, did you not summon another person? When are they arriving?
Yeah, I was about to ask.
Yes.
That was some 30, 40 minutes ago. I imagine they'll be here soon. Then
Alright.
let's wrap this up then. Let's stir
we
Rutabaga.
can.
Yes.
I'm
Well,
going to stay out here
wait.
if you're doing that, if that's alright, and I'll just wait until he's up.
Just look through the window then, Catherine.
We'll do so.
I imagine Rutabaga like right here.
Or at the very least, she's just like, hey, I'm just going to stay over here.
I like that you moved like every 5 squares. Like must approach cautiously.
Old friend, Rutabaga, up you go. Wakey, wake up.
She's like paws at you, except it's not really like a cutesy wootsy like cat paw. It's more like bitch slap pawing.
We have letters.
Hold on.
Did you say we have lettuce?
Alright, 2d20 dh1 plus
Can I cast
6.
vicious mockery? Ah, never mind.
That
I have
doesn't matter.
disadvantage.
But you're gonna do psychic damage to him? That's
I
fucked
want
up.
to give him disadvantage on the smacking. And also wake him up faster if he's like,
He's
ow,
literally
pain.
incapacitated, sort of, but not really. I think he said, what do you want?
We need your expertise, my friend.
What? What?
A detection of sorts.
He holds out his sleepy hand. Give it. Well, we can't. Well, Mr. Fancy, can you come here, please? Sure. It's a very weird scene. He comes over and Owen just grabs him by the wrist gently and just brings him over and just plops his hand into Rutabaga's awaiting paw. What do you want to know?
Is he dead?
As Fritz says, whippersnapper. No. I'll leave me alone. He just drops.
Did he?
How did you arrive at... Never
did he,
mind.
Did
There's
he
no
just
point
feel
in asking.
pulse and assume?
I'm not going to bother trying to get the process from him. We'll just have to trust Rutabaga's judgment. What was that about? We're trying to ascertain your living status. I'm honestly...
It's a weird situation.
It's like I've been blackout drunk and people are telling me facts about myself after the fact. And I don't remember them.
Yeah, those are always fun.
Feel free to take a seat. We might be finished with your interview, Mr. Fancy. In a bit, though. Very well. Very well. You with the boy is hesitant at me. Do take care of him and let me know once he's free. Like the certainty he says once he's free catches Eleni. Maybe the rest of you too. Very well. Thank you. Out of game. Any last questions for Fancy or Cork? It does seem like, yes, information has been stirred, but it also has sort of sent them both into a quieter state than prior.
Mm-hmm.
And as Fritz, you were curious about, and Venian pointed out, you guys will have another person soon enough. So you guys don't have an infinite amount of time to do this. So any last pertinent questions?
None I can think of.
No.
Fritz?
No.
Very well. I believe that is all we need of either of you for the time being, Mr. Korik and Mr. Teff. Bohan, would you please escort Korik back?
Of course.
And Mr. Teff, we may summon for you again. So please keep an open schedule and be ready for transit. Yes, I think I might stay nearby, honestly. Get some tea or something, calm my nerves perhaps. I get my bearings. By all means. She opens the door for him to leave.
Fancy.
Yes, Needle.
It is good to see you. In spite of everything.
His resolve raises at that. He takes heart to it. You too, lad. You too. And remember what I said. Don't be sorry. Remember what we taught you. Stay true to yourself.
I tap my heart twice and then give him a knuckle to the forehead.
He does. He does the same. You and I will catch up. I know we will. One way or another. Whenever you're out of this place, huh?
He nods.
He leaves. Korik, you are escorted back to your room with much to simmer over. Much thought to stew upon.
Yeah, there would be a very visible shift in his body language. Like before this, he was sort of calm and self-assured in the way of a person who knows that they have means at their disposal should they need to defend themselves in spite of being unarmed. Very sort of like a
cool confidence.
Yes, that's very much shaken. He seems downcast, crestfallen. You can see his face is sort of contorted, and he wears like a permanent frown almost. Like he He's a little teary-eyed as well as he goes into his cell.
So, and thus, we take a break. When we get back, Hilbrant will show up, and that will be its own thing.